I deliberately wrapped the rope around my fingers, then lied to the guard, saying I needed to use the restroom. He agreed, but made a strange request. I had to keep shaking a tree branch the entire time I was in there to prove I wouldn't run away. Even so, he still pointed his gun at me. If I paused for even a second, he would pull the trigger immediately. I didn't dare stop for a moment. I just kept shaking the branch. Meanwhile, I took the chance to tie the rope to it. Before long, even though the branch was still shaking from a distance, the guard sensed something was wrong. He started shooting in my direction, but got no response. He rushed over to check, only to find a long rope tied to the branch, and I was already gone. On the other side, I'd escaped to a small village. I asked a kid to lend me an axe to chop off the iron chain around my ankle. Before leaving, I also borrowed some chili powder from him, which I scattered along my escape route. By the time the guards and dogs chasing me arrived, my scent was completely masked, and their dogs were useless. A few days later, when my cellmates thought I'd successfully escaped, they suddenly saw me being brought back by the prison guards. As punishment, I was put in solitary confinement for a month. But that didn't break my determination to escape. During a holiday celebration, all the prisoners were having a good time and letting their guards down. Except me. I kept sawing through the floor. That was the only time I could act without worrying about the noise alerting the guards. The celebration sounds were loud enough to cover my movements. When the event ended and the guards started patrolling, I'd already dug a hole in the floor. My cellmate immediately took out a magazine to distract the guard, and I crawled into the hole right away. One of my cellmates followed me and acted as a decoy. He ran straight toward the fence and climbed the barbed wire, drawing everyone's attention. Even though he got hurt, he created the opening I needed to escape, but he was soon caught by the guards, who immediately sent dogs to chase me. I ran as hard as I could, jumping over one section of barbed wire after another. By the time the guards and dogs caught up, it was too late. I climbed exhaustedly through a ditch to get away. My hunger for freedom gave me endless strength. In the end, the dogs chasing me collapsed from exhaustion. My cellmates saw the dead dogs and thought my escape this time must have worked. But to their surprise, a few days later, I was caught and brought back again. After 2 escape attempts, the guards stepped up their punishment. They made me fill a hole over and over again. Within just a few days, I started begging the guards for mercy, promising I'd never try to escape again. That's when the warden came over, and seeing that their goal had been achieved, they finally released me from solitary. When I went back to the cell, my cellmates didn't greet me like a hero anymore. I understood how they felt. The next day, I seemed like a different person. I responded to the guards' calls with an unnatural eagerness, turning into the kind of person I once despised the most. But that wasn't the truth. I'd already started hatching a bold new plan.